Welcome to our Pub Sports Radio Cappers Contest show. Thank you all for joining us. Week 14 ahead. Before we discuss what moves we should make and our votes, let's talk about our very own Cappers Contest. Shout out to NJ Striker, Sharpie, Nuke Worker, Bo Jackson, WT, also becoming a member of Pub Sports Radio. Thank you for that. It means a ton to us. Let's go over to the Campers Contest show. And Jose, sleepless nights you've been having. You're now you've fallen back into third place, and some big time cappers right around you. Peter Loshak sweeps the board 5-0 to take the lead, but then Drug Monkey RX has the last laugh. Take it away, my friend. How are you feeling? We had two different cappers go 5-0. Colorado Bull and Pistol Pete Loshak. Kiprios 4-1. How are you feeling? I feel like you've been overthinking things. Is that fair to say?
I don't know. It's been a rough 2.5 weeks. I know exactly when my season went to shit. It was the first Patriots game, and then the second one sent me down a tailspin. And some more recent events that we won't talk about on this program because this is a football show have really sent me down the gutter. It has sent me down the gutter. We'll talk about this, but Jim, I'll alert you. I had 2 cigarettes last night. So that's what kind of day we're having here. But let's talk.
Oh my God. Are you serious? I didn't even know you had ever smoked, but that's what happens when Xander Bogaerts leaves the Red Sox.
We don't. No. We're not talking about it. Let's talk about our friend Drug Monkey RX. Shout out to our guy, Drug Monkey. 38, 23, and 4, taking the sole possession of the lead. And I will admit to you, Jimmy, I did have a little surprise for you today. I was going to have Peter Loshak jump on, and we're going to have a nice little interview with Peter Loshak. But the man is busy, just plowing these MILFs. So unfortunately, he could not join us here today. But he will be on this show at some point if his success continues. Because the man was so good that in his old company, they had to give him the fucking heave-ho out of these contests.
Yeah.
So,
actually, to add to that a little bit, he came on to our NFL Pub Hub. Week 1 goes 3-0. So we bring him back week 3. He goes 0-3. Week 4, he goes 0-3, and we say, never again, Pete. We don't want you back on the show ever again. And because he went 5-0, we've decided to bring him back once more. So he's back here on Sunday for the NFL Pub Hub. But see,
wait, so is my invite lost in the mail still? Because
yeah, you went 0-5. You'll never be invited back.
I fucking hate the New York Jets. It's such a horrible week. I hate sports. Sports just make you hurt. But Drug Monkey, Peter Loshak, we're in 1 and 2. I'm in 3 now.
There's Drug Monkey RX right now in our chat.
There
what a guy. You're taking money right out of Jose's pocket, and I love it.
Yep, it really hurts. It also really hurt that me and Drug Monkey basically had all the same picks this week as well. That one really hurt me right in the vulva. But
also, speaking of your bulbous vulva, our guys slammed the Clostable, Damon Santori, and Paco Healy. Why don't you tell us about how their week went?
They just didn't. I don't know if they didn't submit picks or what, but they just went a crisp 0-5. Thank you, guys.
No, they did put in picks.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Losers, yeah. They
went. Point and laugh at them. 0-5.
0-5.
Fucking yahoos. But they're still in it. 36 points. They're right there. Ghost at 36.5. Trant at 36.5. It's still a fight. I would just like to get to the finish line. My goal has just been to survive this last month, and hopefully we will be doing that. Shout out to our 2 survivors, by the way. They're still going as well.
They did split a K each, made that deal.
Yes,
like
they
that.
did split a K each, so they're still
$1,000
going.
more dollars than Jose's going to make in this contest.
Yeah, so and also obviously the Cappers contest is kind of like how we do with the poker tournaments. It's first place gets, I think, 3K, then second place gets lower, third place gets lower, top 7. I believe top 7 get paid.
Yes, top 7 get paid. We did decide on that, and we'll put up the actual payouts here. We should put them up soon. They should be up.
Yes, we should, because I would love to know how much money I'm losing every week I keep sucking. So it's really great. And I would like to remind everyone again, I've never had $3,000 at one time. So I would really like to win this contest. And maybe if I fucking waterboard myself, I'll be doing better. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe a couple more cigarettes tonight will do the trick.
Oh, no. You're going to take up smoking all because of...
No. Again, don't say the words. But yes, I had a couple brewskis. I owe a schnizzle something as well that I have to do today as well. But yeah, no, I'm hitting the Marlboro Reds. It's a tough time.
Well, Sky Dragon says they should be up already. Big difference in contest strategy for those that are live. Sure, yeah, we'll get them up. Our apologies for not having them up. They
just came out 18 minutes ago. They were tweeted 18 minutes ago. I'm sorry, Sky Dragon.
And also, you can tell he's a little upset because he's fallen out of the top 7.
Oh, Sky Dragon? Oh no.
Yeah. So you can tell he's a little.
Well,
angry.
It's obviously because of the team in the north that won't spend any money. So.
Oh, look, we don't care. We don't care.
Yeah, but we don't. This is not a sport. That's not this sport. We're talking about football here. We're here to talk football.
All right, well, let's get into it. Excellent work, Drug Monkey RX, in our chat. Congratulations on all your successes. He wanted the payouts, Sky Dargan.
No, that's probably true. You know what? You're right. You're right, Sky Dargan. You're right. You know, is that what you want, Sky Dargan?
That's what he wants.
You're right.
That's what he wants.
You're right.
All right, well, let's get to work. Thank you guys all for joining us. Press Neckdoll says that if Jose would have just used the picks he gave you on Sunday, you
picks. I think it was actually on Saturday. So thanks for sending me the picks on Saturday, though.
Bo Jackson says stop betting on the Jets and you should be okay.
Yeah, well, they're fucking. It's the Jets. It's the fucking Red Sox all over again. But we don't talk about them. I didn't know you want to say that fucking name right now. Let's talk about football.
About football. There was a point after we cashed a Thursday night bet where we were 28, 21, and 2. And we were, we hit the top 800. Since then, we've gone 1, 12, 1 and 12. I don't know how that doesn't map. I guess we hit 27, 21, and 2. I guess that's it. But
I'm not a math guy, but what you're saying is that we're cold.
We're cold. Now, this is the final quarter of the season. So it doesn't matter what our record is. Our record now has become ugly, 29, 33, and 2. But we can, if we succeed gloriously, we can get paid here for the final quarter. And if we fall apart at the seams, we can get paid here. So we either need to be great or horrific. We cannot be average. We cannot be mediocre. That's the only rule.
We will call out those public dogs when they happen, because we've been going against the Sharps, as you say, all this last 3 weeks, and we've been paying for it. So we'll call out those public dogs early, and maybe, just maybe, we can side with the Sharps this week.
I would like that very much. Let's get to work. Week 14. Game 1 is this evening. Connor Mack will be hosting the live bet stream for it. Las Vegas Raiders 5-7, 2-5 on the road at the Los Angeles Rams 3-9, 2-5 at home. We're at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. We don't have the pass there.
Oh, I forgot about the pass button. Our new favorite addition. I forgot the pass controversy again. Shout out to Cheshire Cat again, wherever you are, because he was the original. Maybe we should add a pass button, but shout out to him. Yes, we will do the pass right now.
I think the pass button does work because the cappers who want to be involved in voting can say this is a very difficult game. So that when you believe in a spot and vote for it, but we'll try it. We'll see.
No, we got it. It's a great idea. I loved it. I you know what? I liked it then, and I like it now.
I didn't like it then. I like it now. Let's get to work here for Raiders Rams Thursday night action. We still don't know who's going to be a quarterback for these Rams. If it's Wolford, I think the Rams have value at 6.5. They opened up at 5.5. They're now at 6.5. This 6.5 got up to plus 104 at 11 this morning. It's now at even money. Is that telling us that Wolford should be good to go? He will be a game time decision. When we go over to the cash flow for this one, We have 111,326 tickets in. And the sharp money is on the LA Rams. I repeat that. For all of you guys hitting the button on the Raiders right now, the sharp money is on the Rams. Now, if Bryce Perkins is at quarterback and you put your pick on the Rams, maybe you can hate yourself. But that is the situation. Don't forget the Seahawks needed a last-second touchdown to beat the Rams 27-23 last out. And Wolford looked pretty good, 14-28, 178 yards. That's the 12th different starting offensive line combination in 12 games. Look, Bobby Wagner played inspired football. And who's to say he does that again this week? Who's to say this defense cares without Aaron Donald? They're all legitimate questions. They've given up 6.2 yards per play over the last 3 games, which is 28th over the last 3 games, 28th in the league. The Raiders are 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 games. They're number 1 in yards per play over the last 3 weeks. But only Devontae Adams, 8 passes for 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Only 3 other players caught a pass, and they combined for 8 catches for 73 yards. Now, look, maybe Ramsey can't slow down Devontae Adams. That's fair. And maybe Jacobs has another monster day, and Chandler Jones woke up. I guess the question is, do you think that Jacobs will run for 100-plus yards? Because if you do, then the Raiders will take care of business. Bo Jackson's on the Rams. Take it away, Jose. What do you think we should do here?
Yeah, I don't think we should be on the Raiders. Since you said sharp money is on Los Rams. I mean, this is a tough game. Ultimately, this is definitely a pass button game. For me, some very hateful things being said in the chat right now that I am now no longer going to look at. So I'm no longer going to look at the chat for a little bit. But let's just say this. I think we should go with the Rams here. If I'm making a vote, pass, obviously an option 2, which is probably what he actually would lean towards. But gun to head, I'm taking the Rams. At the end of the day, fucking coaching advantage. Give me the fucking Rams all day. And Raiders feeling good about themselves, thinking they can sneak into this playoff hunt. I don't think so. They're a 2-man team with Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs. I don't ultimately have faith in whiny baby Carr. I wish I could cry for you guys today, but I used up all my tears last night, unfortunately. So I need at least 24 hours to maybe hydrate myself with more smokes and more booze. But I won't be watching this game tonight. I can think of countless other things that I would rather be doing, like watching highlights of a certain shortstop. But yeah, ultimately a pass game for me here. But Rams, if I had to play it. And you're on mute. The children are out to play today, Jimmy. The children are out to play.
Sorry. Interesting stat from Sharpie says last 4 weeks, wide receiver ones have eaten versus Rams D. Hopkins, Olave, Metcalf, Lockett, 100-plus yards in a TD. Says Adams should eat.
Yeah, I mean, if Jalen Ramsey's playing, I feel a lot better about the Rams. And, maybe if he's like, fuck this, I'm not going to play, I feel like this is a Raiders spot. But I still think the Rams are better coach. And that defense, sneaky.
Yeah, even without Donald. I just hope that the Raiders don't make our card. But we're 4 minutes in. Let's find out what's the word. What is the word, Mr. Bouquet?
Find out. That's very formal of you. Wow.
Right.
It's my father, actually. It is, let's see it. My thing is not even refreshing. Jimmy, do you see the percentages?
37% for the Raiders, 31 for the Rams, and 31 pass. So 37% for the Raiders.
Beautiful.
Nuclear saying Ramsey's numbers this year are bad. He's right. Ramsey can't stop him.
Hey, it's somebody.
Right.
I'd rather have Ramsey than someone else out there. But yeah, no, 37% might not get to our card, but it's at least very interesting to start this off.
Okay, let's roll on. And by Sharpie saying Andy Dalton, Geno Smith, and Colt McCoy all put up 27 versus the past 4 weeks. I get it. I'm just happy Raiders aren't on here. I think it's too many points, but I don't think I'll bet the Rams. But I want to know Wolford's in. Let's move on. Next up, New York Jets, Buffalo Bills, Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. I will just give you guys the spread, movement, and the cash, and then Jose will lead us off here for this one. Jose's New York Jets opened at +9. Excuse me, they opened at plus 9.5 at Pinnacle. I thought they opened at plus 9, but they opened at plus 9.5. But they're at 9 at most books. This is a 9.5 at plus 111. So that's a 9. Go over to the cash flow here. We have 48% of the tickets and 88% of the cash on the Bills. The Jets have more of the tickets and none of the dollars. Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I've been on the Jets. I could go look back at our Cappers contest. I've been on them, I think, almost every week this year. I've obviously had some heartbreaking losses. I've been on them what it feels like the last 6 straight weeks. This is a Bills spot. I kind of pointed out perfectly that the Jets would beat the Bills at home this year. I don't trust the Jets going on the road to Buffalo. Last week's game was crushing. Braxton Berrios proving, we're not going to talk about that game. We're not going to talk about that game. I'm not going to say things that get me canceled here. We're not going to talk about it. But he was not good enough, dropping the bag when we needed it most. Josh Allen, healthy this time. When he first played the Jets, he had that elbow thing we all remember, but he looked healthy as hell then. But give me the Bills here, truthfully. I think this number is high for a reason, and I think that the Mike White experience might come crashing down here. He played great last time. He played it wasn't his fault that the Jets lost. Obviously, the Jets' red zone inefficiencies were an issue, but that comes from not having any healthy running backs that are very good. Xavier Knight, whoever, I don't know where the fuck that guy came from, but you can obviously pick running backs off trees now, but you need a certain kind of running back to get into the end zone. That's why Jamal Williams has 14 touchdowns and DeAndre Swift can barely scrap one. Some running backs are just good at getting in the red zone, and I don't think the Jets will be able to run the ball here. And I think that Mike White kind of comes back down to earth. So truthfully, I would not be surprised if the Bills end up on my card.
Would you think there's going to be some revenga after the Jets beat them in New York 2017?
I think there will be a lot of revenga. And sorry, Drug Monkey. I'm glad that Drug Monkey at least also a Jets fan. So if I'm going to lose this contest, I'd rather it be I already told this, I'd rather be a Drug Monkey. I need to finish in front of Pete Loshak. I don't trust the New York Jets here at all. A lot of revenga.
It's hard to believe that they lost to the Vikings with 199 more total yards. They outgained the Vikings 5.9 yards per play to 4.3, but they were 3 of 16 on third down and 1 of 6 in the red zone, and that will hurt. But the defense was strong again, but not really when it mattered most. The Vikings were 9 of 18 on third down, even though they were held to just 287 yards. Hopefully, Cedric Ogbuehi is back for you guys. But the Bills are home now after 3 straight road games where they looked very good. They didn't cover versus the Lions, but we now know that Von Miller is done for the season. That hurts, but I think Greg Rousseau and AJ Epinesa, if I could either have AJ Epinesa and Greg Rousseau in the lineup or Von Miller and not have the other two, I would take, Rousseau.
Well, and I'll tell you this, teams that run the ball well against the Bills are the teams that beat the Bills. Like those kind of teams obviously do. And the Bills defense would love for Mike White to go back there and throw 50 times, whatever he had to do last time.
57.
Yeah, they would love that shit. They would eat him alive. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen here.
It is raining, as Nuke Worker points out, showers. Wonder how that will affect the squad here. A Drunk Monkey RX pissed off too. He calls you a son of a bitch.
Call me all the name. I'm broken inside, so nothing you can say can hurt me.
I'll go out and have a smoke. Go out, smoke a cigarette, and think it over, man.
Some cowboy killers, man. I'm addicted to them now, I guess.
That's great, man. That's going to give you
Reds.
A life of joy smoking cigarettes.
Maybe make my voice a little deeper, make me a little more intimidating.
That would help. All right, let's see. I did not vote on it. I'm not going to press pass, though. I'm going to let this one go and see what's up.
By the way, Drug Monkey saying Michael Carter back, but I don't trust him as a lead running back. That's why they drafted Breece Hall, 40% for the Buffalo Bills. And if I can try to remember last week, 40% was that borderline to get there. So it should be interesting to see if that makes our card this time.
Well, let's roll on. Next up for us is Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. These Browns 5-7, 2-4 on the road. These Bengals 8-4, 4-1 at home, playing some pretty spectacular football. AFC stacked, 45 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 6 miles per hour. We have been given a 5.5 here for Browns Bengals. This opened up with the Bengals as 4.5-point favorites. They're now 5.5 or 6. They were a legitimate 6 this morning. They've gone back to 5.5. So at 11:47 a.m., it dropped to 5.5 or a 6 at plus 106. So that's very interesting. And let's take a look and see if the sharp money is on the Cleveland Browns. We have 13,789 tickets in, and the sharp money is all over the Cleveland Browns. 29% of the tickets and 60% of the cash. Big bets coming in on the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, it's one of those spots for sure where you're like, you sit there and you just X's and O's, Bengals, but Vegas and the sharp say otherwise.
Bengals, I guess they're thinking that the Bengals will come back to earth a bit after that 27-24 home win over the Chiefs, their 4th straight victory. They looked very, very good. And Mixon is expected to clear concussion protocol, so he'll be back. But Samaje Perine was phenomenal. This Bengals defense held the Chiefs to 349 yards. All of a sudden, I mean, this football team, like, there's so many different levels of it, but this offensive line, which was so atrocious at the beginning of the year, is now top 5 in the league. They've allowed, over their last 3 games, Burrow to be sacked on 3.6% of his dropbacks. That's 6th best in the league. They're just rolling. They're 6.2 yards per play over the last 3 games, 6.5 yards per play against the Chiefs. We talked about the Raiders' yards per play. That's number 1 over the last little while. And I don't have their number, but Bengals are right there. Leo said it says Browns plus 5.5, says the casuals don't know how the AFC North works. Bro, 0-4 against Cleveland.
Wow. What a stat there. That's interesting. Now, I will admit, I think it was the easiest layup ever to just know that Deshaun Watson was going to suck last week. Not playing football in fucking 3 years, whatever it is. No massages. Back in his own stomping ground, getting shit on the whole time. And, I will admit there are some people in Houston will probably be the warmest reception he'll get all year. And I will say that because why does Houston hate him? Fucking gave him a bunch of draft picks. Like LJ doesn't hate Deshaun Watson. Why would LJ hate Deshaun Watson? He fucking
LJ's wife probably dislikes Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and guess who doesn't affect the opinion of men watching football? Their wives. I don't care about that.
That's valid.
Helga tells me she fucking hates Jimmy G. I'm still rooting on that motherfucker when he's on the Jets next year. But I just think this is one of those things that it's a weird like money Vegas situation. I'm not taking the Bengals this week after hearing that. I would have been on the Bengals, truthfully, because I think they're a great squad, and I think they could be a Super Bowl contender. I love ISO Joe. Jamar Chase is very good at his job, and the defense in the second half is apparently the 90, whatever the fuck, the 83 Bears, 86 Bears, whatever the defense is. This is my football knowledge flexing right now. So I guess take the Browns, but I already know the Bengals are going to be on our card just because of the X's and O's here.
Yeah, I know they are too, man. And the funny thing is I did try to stop it, and I did try my best to stop it, and I should have just voted pass, but in my attempt to stop it, I voted for Cleveland plus 5.5, even though I don't even want them. I'm just trying to stop it. And we've only had one person pass. Everybody's either on the Bengals, thinks the Sharps are wrong, or they're a Sharp themselves.
I might just take the Browns and Cappers this week just to see what happens because it's sick. It's gross. I don't want to fucking take this team, but Deshaun Watson's good enough. I think he can make some magic here, and that's gross to say. So 4 minutes are up, And we'll say this officially, the Bengals will most likely be on our card. YouTube is feeling super slow with these poll results today, so I still don't even have it. But it was upwards to 60%. Jimmy, you might have
60% it finished on.
Let's say, Jimmy, you might have to be the one reading these polls because I'm ending the polls. And I still don't have my results.
Yeah, that's no problem. I'm good. I'll do that. So there we have it. We're 4 games under 500 going up against the Sharps, and we still do it. See, I just think that
it's too. I mean, it makes sense. Like when you're watching the game, you're just like, the Bengals are so good. The Browns suck. Deshaun Watson looked horrible. Why would we not take the Bengals at home? But that 0-4 against the Bengals, the AFC North, you take it from an AFC North guy. It makes sense.
Just pass. Well, I don't understand why we always have to go up against the Sharps. All right. We move on. Houston Texans, Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium for this one. We have a huge spread, 17.5. That's not where the number is now, at least this morning. Oh, wow, it's back. Wow, look at this. Wow. So this was 16 on Tuesday, and then it moved to 17, but this was 16. Now it's as much as 18 at some books.
God.
All because of Odell Beckham? Come on.
No, he's done. Yeah, get that fucking. He's not going to play this season. That guy's a joke. He just want to be quartered around like a fucking college recruit, and then be like, yeah, I actually psych, guys. I can't play. I'm not healthy, and I'm going to freak out on an airplane.
The big bets have come in on Dallas. Looks like sharp action on Dallas, but the public on them too. 67% tickets, 80% cash. Sports Insights has given implied line value to the Dallas Cowboys. The fourth most implied line value of any team on the board. The only 3 teams with more implied line value, according to Sports Insights, are the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Miami Dolphins.
Dallas are a good team that can run it up, because obviously Dakota Rain Prescott sucks and they won't throw the ball as much. So it'll be a lot of Tony Pollard and Zeke. And, if they run the ball well, and we all know the Texans can't stop the run, it might indeed be a long day for Texans fans out there.
Yeah, I mean, this is just too big of a spread. We dropped all of the stats on these teams, 17 and higher, 17.5 and higher, and they're not good for the favorite covering.
No, truthfully, I love the big spread. And earlier in the year when I was making my money, fucking actually doing well in the contest, I was just taking the big spreads and the underdogs and riding with them and rolling with them. But here it's just, it's tough. It's super tough because first of all, are we still getting Kyle Allen?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, no, they've not reported that they're going back to Davis Mills.
It's like going from shit to more shit. But Kyle Allen is on the Sam Ehlinger. Like, he should not be an NFL quarterback. He is just horrific.
Davis Mills will return as starting quarterback.
Okay, thank God, because he showed signs of competence. So I just pass. And Billy, it might be Rain Dakota Prescott. I have no fucking idea. I just like saying his full name because his name is Rain. But I just ultimately, I guess I'm leaning towards the Texans, but they can't win games. They don't want to stay in close in games right now. And ultimately, I pass. I'd take the under. I'll tell you that. The big spreads have been leaning towards unders, but that doesn't really matter here. So I pass game for me ultimately.
Wow. I think Davis Mills will be better after watching for 2 games. I always think that helps somebody, in getting another chance to be back in. But they've lost 7 straight, and they're 1-6 against the spread in those 7 games. And I think it's good, though. Hopefully Brandon Cooks can play. He's inactive with the calf injury. But
yeah, they got to get someone away from they got to get Quandre Diggs away from everyone else, or whichever Diggs is the cornerback for the Cowboys.
They held the Browns to 14 first downs and 304 total yards. Heading into this week, there's some positives with their defense. They ranked 12th in third down defense, 7th in red zone defense. But look, the Cowboys are a nasty team. Now, they did lose Anthony Brown to a concussion. So, or was it a concussion? No, he tore his Achilles. My God. So they lost him to a concussion, tore his Achilles, done for the season, but they lost him to a concussion in the Packers game. As soon as he went out of the Packers game, Packers put up a ton of points on the Cowboys. So it'll be interesting. Calvin Joseph is the 2021 second round pick who will replace him, and he looked really bad replacing him in the Green Bay game. They're already down Jordan Lewis. I mean, I wonder if backing the Texans very early could be beneficial. Like you're getting 4.5 on the first quarter, and
well, the issue is there. I would rather take them late because I think the Cowboys just come out there and go bam, bam, punch them in the mouth early, and then we get some backdoor love from the Texans.
And Troy Torrance saying Sharps gave up on the Texans. Bunch of Judas. That's funny, Troy. Yeah, Sharps have given up on the Texans, even the Sharps.
I think I might add the Texans on my card this week. Obviously I go through this show and I star plays here. Cleveland obviously is star number one. I might add the Texans because it just might be a ridiculous amount of points. Just absolutely ridiculous. And I was thinking of Trayvon Diggs. Thank you, Christopher Commentini, not Quandre. I don't know where Quandre is making it.
Quandre.
There's a lot of Diggs. Stephon, Quandre, Trayvon. I can't keep them up. I can't keep up with all of them. 4 minutes are up. 5 minutes are up. See, there you go. We gave you guys some extra time as well.
40% on Dallas minus 17.5.
40%, huh? Not surprising.
36% pass. So more people want to pass than take Houston.
Don't blame you guys there. Don't fucking blame you guys there. It's going to be an interesting game. This is the game that you are, if you're in Texas, a lot of people are selling these tickets. It's a hot ticket. Everyone wants to give away their tickets to this game.
All right, let's move on. Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions, Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan.
Most interesting game of the week.
I moved on the Detroit Lions. In two different ways. I moved on them minus 2.5. And yeah, I was late to the party, and it almost made me not join the party. But I just think they're going to be able to put points up against the Vikings. So I also took their team total over 27.5. That moved 5 cents against me after I bet it, their team total over. I'd like to see where it is right now. Team total over 27.5. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
So now it's plus 105. God, I hate this shit. Ugh. I guess that means the total is dropping here. Let's take a look at the line history, though. These Lions opened up at +1, now minus 2.5, and that looks like it's going to a 2. Must be 2s at most books because that's now at plus 104. That scares me. This total hasn't really moved. I guess it moved since Tuesday because it was 53, so it dropped a point to 52. I still feel like the Lions are going to be able to comfortably put up points. And go over to the sharp action. Now, the sharp action is a little confusing in this game because obviously that was, it opened a sort of a pick 'em, but it's all the money is on Detroit, all of it. But less than half of the tickets. So 47% of the tickets, 94% of the cash. And Sports Insights has given the Detroit Lions the highest amount of line value on the entire card. But still, there are more tickets in on the Vikings than the Lions, even though the giant bets have come in on the Detroit Lions. I'm surprised that my team total is dropping. I'm surprised that Lions are moving to minus 2. I don't know how the Vikings keep doing it. 9 one-score games, and they've won them all.
Yeah, rabbit out of their hats.
Yeah, and the Lions are coming off a very impressive game. So Sharpie says when the line is off, take the team. Lions are going to win. I don't know why, but all the dog money on Minnesota not happening. Raiders were favorites in front of the Chargers last week. Should not have been, and won.
I feel the same way as Sharpie. It's one of those lines that just doesn't make sense. So you're just like, all right, this is what it is. Then that's what I'm going to bet it. Like, here's an example. Shout out to Bill Simmons. He does guess the lines every Sunday, whatever. He has that whole bit with his buddy Sal. I play mentally along in my head, and this is one of those games I'm like, Minnesota going into Detroit. Well, Minnesota about like 1, maybe 2.5 around there. No, Detroit. I'm like, all right, well, that line just doesn't make sense, so I probably would just take Detroit here. So it makes a whole lot of sense why you're on them. And I don't know how this team does it as well. It's just like 3 big plays from Justin Jefferson, get them down the field, and then Dalvin Cook and Thielen can do the rest. They have enough talent to succeed in the red zone, and Jefferson gets them there. And obviously they can go 3-4 minutes, or I should say like 2 whole quarters without scoring points, because that's kind of how this offense goes. But I just like the Lions. I've liked them all year. I love Dan Campbell. I bought into all that shit. Jamal Williams continues to be a beast. And someone said that my DeAndre Swift comment maybe was a little personal, a little pointed. He's a great running back, and he hasn't been healthy. Now he's getting into the end zone. Maybe I am a DeAndre Swift fantasy owner. Maybe I'm a little frustrated on it, but it's just a little surprising to see that this line is the way it is, which makes me just want to take the Lions even more, truthfully.
I don't like that it's moving back towards the Vikings. I'm interested to see where these numbers finish off, because we're dealing with 19,771 tickets. Come Sunday, we'll have 250,000 tickets in here. But at this point, 53% of the tickets are on the Vikings and 6% of the cash. I mean, that's astonishing. There's a similar thing going on with Carolina.
My Panthers?
Yeah, the Panthers are getting all the big bets.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Can't wait for that game. 4 minutes are up. Appreciate all the votes. Jimmy? Oh, look at that.
3% on the Vikings and 40% on the Lions.
So deadlock there. Close one. 43%. We'll see if that makes our card. Testing the gambling gods today.
Wow. This is I've only made 4 bets, and they're on 2 teams, and I'm pretty nervous. Vikings have hurt me, as they've hurt a lot of people. Top Crocodile, that's not quite fair to say 94% of cash on Lions, and Lions drop from -2.5 to -2. You could say 94% of cash on the Lions, and the line's gone from -1 to -2. The line is clearly moved in the Lions' direction. It's come back a half point now. So, all right. And Troy saying don't be worried about the pullback to 1.5. That's built into their algorithm. I'm just nervous. I need a good week here, and I haven't had any. Now my quantity of action's way down. And all right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans. We'll let Jose open this up, but I will tell you this: 11,152 tickets in. Sharps are on Jacksonville. 41% of tickets, 79% of the cash. We've seen this line move. We've seen it move from Jacksonville at plus. Oh, wow. It's gone towards Tennessee. Tennessee opening up -4, now minus. Oh, I guess it's still a 4. That 4.5's at -125 for Jacksonville. So I guess
it's 3.5 in the contest too. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so it is a 4. Let's just see. Let me just tell you what it is at all the different books. I don't know if you do that instead. So Jacksonville is a 4 across the board, and at Bookmaker and BetChris, Sharp Books, they have it at -115. So both teams are coming off awful football games. How do you open this one up, Jose?
Yeah, I think the wild stat that was going on is the Jaguars hadn't won back-to-back games since like 2017. Some like crazy stat like that. They just don't put together 2 good games, in a row. That's just not what they do. I kind of expect them to bounce back here after looking like dog shit. The Titans, I'll be honest. I think the Titans, first of all, they just played a really good squad in the Eagles, a really good squad that was motivated to play against them, and particularly one wide receiver, which I really think if you're a popular guy in that locker room, you're a leader, and you have a revenge game, that kind of permeates through the locker room. Everyone kind of wants to fight for you. And I think that kind of contributed to the Titans getting their ass whooped. On top of that, they fire their general manager, and it just makes me feel like everything's not well in Tennessee. And I don't trust Tennessee. I don't like Ryan Tannehill. I've been on that train for a while. I do not trust Tannehill. I don't like putting my money on Tannehill. Obviously, King Henry and Tractor Cito season is in full effect here. And truthfully, with a Jaguars team that in my head, I can just picture Derrick Henry just running right through the middle of this Jaguars defense for like 90 yards. I lean Jaguars here, and I think Trevor Lawrence, who I thought his knee exploded and he popped up perfectly fine, I think he'll have a decent game, and I think the Jaguars can win this game outright.
The idea that the big bets are coming in on Jacksonville and, the market's moving towards Tennessee tells me that the Titans are the play. I don't want to make a move based solely on the market, but it feels like Henry's not going to get shut down again, and the Titans will bounce back off of playing the best team in the league, or arguably the best team in the league, and certainly the best record in the league. And I don't know what the Jaguars are going to give you from one game to another, but I do know that they're not to be trusted on the road.
That's true.
So
they're not there at that stage yet. They're not a good enough team to win on the road, especially against like decent competition.
And Troy saying Drug Monkey saying I thought the line for Detroit opened up +2. It's +2.5 at some offshores when it came out a week before. So yeah, I just don't trust Jacksonville on the road at all. So yeah. I guess now, after talking it out and seeing the big bets on Jacksonville, market moving towards Tennessee, I think the Titans might make my card. In saying that, I don't know if I'll bet them at 4.5, but maybe they'll be one of my top 5 spots.
Yeah, I just can't get there with Ryan Tannehill. I always have that fear. I like, obviously, Vrabel coaching advantage definitely leans towards Tennessee here. But it's all about Tractor Cito. If he gets going, then what will they do? 4 minutes are up. Let's end the poll and see here where the Jaguars Titans lands. And 36%. Now YouTube's picked up its shit. 36% on Jacksonville, but 36% also on the pass there as well. So not feeling this game. A lot of people not feeling this game. So very interesting poll results as always.
Yeah, that's wild. Say hi to Sanka. Great to see you, Sanka. All right, well, that's a tough game. This one is wildly interesting, the next one. Philadelphia Eagles, 11-1, 5-0 on the road at New York Giants, 7-4-1, 4-2-1 at home, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Chance of showers. I'd like to dive more into what the weather's going to end up being, but we know that Pinnacle opened this up at -6.5. It's pretty much a 6.5 now. It was a 7, a legit 7 yesterday, but now the 7's at +106. Move over to the cash flow here in this one. I told you guys, the Eagles have enormous amounts of implied line value here at Sports Insights, but all the big bets have come in on the Giants. In saying that, the public's on them too. So we have a public dog here, 61% of the tickets and 93% of the cash on the New York Giants. So
I'll be on the Eagles. That simple. The last 2 weeks I've had 2 good examples. Tennessee, we mentioned it, public dog, got their ass stomped by these said Eagles. UNT, we're going to the college ranks, UTSA, very public college dog. The UTSA rolls them. Eagles, I think they do it again here.
Yeah, there's a chance that Adoree Jackson is going to be back, and there's even a chance that Xavier McKinney will be back. I'd like to find out that right now. So can you hold the fort for a second?
Yeah. Well, shout out to Sky Dargan, who I'm sure has Eagles futures and why he loves the Eagles. I've liked them too all year, and I thought they were going to make the Super Bowl. Obviously, the 49ers resurgence had me a little worried, but now I know Jimmy G. We'll see how that goes. I just don't trust the Giants anymore, really. On top of liking the Eagles as much as I do, the second half of the season after the bye has obviously treated them poorly. Daboll has kind of just stretched the capabilities of this offense. But I think it comes to a point where you're like, all right, We know what they want to do. It's a lot of Saquon Barkley, some quarterback run from Daniel Jones, which they said they were going to incorporate more of. And guess what? He fumbled. I mean, he's one of the more fumble-prone quarterbacks in the league. Shout out to him and Trevor Lawrence. The weapons for the Giants, besides Barkley's not good, and the defense is not that great. So give me the Eagles here. I think they just dominate another opponent here and continue showing why they're good. They can beat you anyway, and that's the shocking part about the Eagles. They can even beat you throwing the ball, and Jalen Hurts should thank Lincoln Riley every day that he went to Oklahoma for that 1 year.
The Giants allow 5.1 yards per carry, the third worst in the NFL. The X's and O's here scream that the Eagles are the spot. Seeing so much money come in on the Giants, I mean, are they just simplifying it all to a divisional home dog?
That's what I was thinking as well. Drug Monkey mentions it here. Drug Monkey, it would be a real shame if you picked the Giants this week. That's all I'm saying. It'd be a real shame if you did, because I will most likely be on the Eagles, and that would be a really nice one-game swing in my favor if it does happen for me. So that would be nice. Look at that. Sky Dargan on New York Giants +7.
Adoree Jackson, no word. Xavier McKinney, no word either. I mean, also you have Leonard Williams, who left in the second half with a neck injury and status is uncertain. Those are crucial pieces to this puzzle. They got Azeez Ojulari back from IR, and he looked really good. Their front seven is capable of being very strong. But if they don't have Adoree Jackson and they don't have their safety Xavier McKinney, who they haven't had, how do they deal with A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith? I mean, they can't. They don't. They won't. So it's when there's these spots, and look, if this just becomes a public dog, it'll be pretty easy to back the Eagles once we get another 100,000 tickets in and the public's all over the Giants. But when there's all that money on the Giants, I just feel like maybe I'm missing something. I got to spend a little bit more time on it. Maybe Adoree Jackson and McKinney will be back.
Even if they were back, honestly, I still like the Eagles. I still like the Eagles wide receiver matchups.
Troy Torrance says Giants been frauds all year. Hearing Sports Insight's line value makes me lean hard to the Eagles.
I mean, the same thing's happening to the Seahawks right now. They're fading right now too, and we've been kind of waiting for this all year. And it turns out this is the difference between like a fake good team and actual good teams. The season's longer now than it's ever been before, and kind of weeding out the chaff. We'll see.
Well, let's see what's up.
Let us see what's up indeed. Oh, look at that. Something that makes sense will make us happy. 58% on the Philadelphia Eagles. 58%. So that will be fun, and that might make our card.
God, I think back at the beginning of the year when the winners were rolling in, I was just firing away, and now hit week 14, and I'm just frozen like a deer.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, I'm going to say this. I was doing well when you were doing well, so I would appreciate if you started doing well so then I could start doing well.
I would appreciate that as well. All right, let's move on to Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. Showers in the forecast at Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We'll start with the line history and the cash flow, and then we'll let Jose give us a first take on this one. This is a fascinating game. When this line came out at some offshores before Sunday, before Lamar Jackson went down, this was the Ravens -4. Right now, the Ravens open up at +2.5, +105. They're now +2.5 at -111. I agree with that. What are we getting here? 2 or 2.5? 2.5.
2.5. Yes, 2.5.
I think that the Ravens are the play here. I really do, and I just need to talk it out with everybody and one more time. Let's see. We know one thing. The Sharps have been on Pittsburgh every week, and now they started winning with them. The Sports Insights gives implied line value to the Pittsburgh Steelers here. But the Sharps are all over Baltimore. 59% of the tickets and 82% of the cash. Is 59% of the tickets enough for you to say that this is a public dog? It's possible. But 82% of the cash here on the Baltimore Ravens, and I think I'm going to move with them. Tyler Huntley is one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league. If you look just at his touchdowns and interceptions, I mean, they're not great, but when you add in his ability to run the ball, he's a good quarterback. And when he led Baltimore on that 91-yard drive in 16 plays and got the 2-yard touchdown with 28 seconds left, that's what winners do. And I know he didn't win as many of those games as one would have wanted. Ravens went on a losing streak at the end of last year. But just judging from that drive, it felt like he learned something. Take it away, Jose.
I like the Ravens here too. I don't know how much I like them, as I should say that there. But I agree with you, Huntley. I mean, he's played. Like, ultimately, we've seen him play football games, and I think we kind of know what to expect. He is, as people are saying, Lamar Jackson light. I obviously think Lamar Jackson is better. He can actually throw the football, and I have my doubts on Huntley throwing the football, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just, I don't want to take the Steelers as a favorite ultimately this year. I think, maybe you'll have a better understanding of this. I think the Steelers' love started obviously when the Watt brother came back. I always forget which one, TJ, I think it is, on the Steelers. When he came back, then the sharp money just kept, I feel like, keeps pouring on the Steelers. And obviously he's going to be a big focus for the Ravens here, but they've played him multiple times at this point. I like the Ravens, and I think they with a week to prepare. Obviously, I think Huntley will look better. One guy, obviously, that scares me on the Steelers, not even on the field, Mike Tomlin. Good coach, still a really good coach, and he's gonna keep fighting for that 500 thing, which I think is hilarious. I don't think they'll get there, but give me the Ravens here, and ultimately, I lean towards the better quarterback, and right now, that's Huntley over Pickett.
Yeah, I agree. The Patrick Queen carting off the field doesn't need to be an issue. It's negative. It's a bruise. I think when it. Oh, by the way, something interesting. Sharp money's on the over in this one as well. There's a ton of tickets on the under, and only 28% of tickets on the over. But big bets have come in on the over, which I thought was fascinating. Andy Molitor gave us the under on Tuesday night in Gridiron Gamblers. And I agreed with that sentiment. But the more I sit with this game, the more I think that the Ravens are a better team than Pittsburgh with Huntley at quarterback. I think it's just that simple. So how many points do you give to the Pittsburgh Steelers for being at home? That's your call. But I am going to bet the Baltimore Ravens now. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is here. Birdie says this Pittsburgh defense is not the Broncos defense. Huntley should have more success, and this total is just too short. Interesting. Birdie also interested in the over. I don't know if I can pull the trigger on the over from what I've seen. If I had a free bet, I would for sure. But actually putting money down, I don't know if I can do that. But I will bet the Ravens here. I do think the Ravens are the play, and I will use it in the contest. So this is my first definite addition.
Yeah, I like the Ravens as well. Defense scares me a little bit, but like you said, Patrick Queen coming back will obviously be very helpful. And this will always make you feel better. If it comes down to a field goal, you have the best kicker in the world.
I wish what Troy's saying, I wish I wasn't driving. I'm interested to hear. That means he either doesn't agree at all or agree vehemently on one side. I would love to hear what
he wishes he wasn't driving so he can make votes, obviously. He just wants to jump in the votes. Shout out to Troy. Appreciate you.
Okay, so let's finish the voting.
The voting is finished, and we've got 46% on the Baltimore Ravens. 46%.
Billy Frieder says the offense in Baltimore can move the ball, but they can't score TDs. Oh, he goes, I agree. Ravens got good sport. Okay, I like it. Troy, I like it. But focus on the road, my man. Drive safe. We need you for the long run, not for quick picks right here on the show. We need you for the rest of our lives. I'm excited. That gives me an addition. There's another addition I'd like to make on the card, and it's in this game. So if I'm hesitant, you guys could know why. Before we get into this one, can we hear, because we have one, so we're afternoon action now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 games left. Can you give us the top 5 right now, Jose? So we sort of know what the cutoff percentage is?
Sure, I can give you the top. Right now, obviously, we love going against the Sharps. It's the Bengals at number 1, 5.5 at 60%. Number 2 are Philadelphia Eagles, 6.5 at 58%. There at 3, we have Baltimore at 46%. Tied for 4 and 5 right now. We have the Buffalo Bills and Dallas at 40% there. And then the Rams at 37, Tennessee at 36.
So 40% is the cutoff.
As of right now, yes. But I do anticipate that getting knocked off here.
All right, perfect. Okay, that's what I want to know. Okay, let's get to work here in this one. I wouldn't mind opening this one up here. We'll go back to you after this one. Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos, Empire Field at Mile High. The Broncos at plus 9.5, and I want the Broncos as a home dog in this divisional matchup. Obviously, the Chiefs are an angry group, and that gives me hesitation. But Jerry Jeudy's back, and we just know these teams play each other tough. And now we're in Denver, and you're giving me 9.5 points, and I want to move on it. Pinnacle still is at 8.5. Pinnacle, while all the other books have been at 9.5, Pinnacle's not moving Denver off of 8.5. And sure, the Chiefs are a little juiced, but not majorly juiced. When they moved it to 8.5, it was from 8, and it's been there since 8:56 yesterday morning, and it's only minus 114. So it's not like, I think that's telling here. When we go over to the cash flow, I haven't looked at this in 48 hours. I'm curious. The Sharps are all over the Broncos, 34% of tickets, 78% of cash. And I'm going to bet the Broncos after this. Part of me thought, wow, maybe you get a 10. Maybe you'll get a 10. I don't think we're going to get a 10. I don't think it gets to 10. I think 9.5 is high. Then there's not one juiced 9.5. It's all at a pick'em. And I just think that the Broncos are going to play the Chiefs very, very, very tough. So if that's the case, do I look at the Broncos team total over, or is there anything else that I would want to look at? Like, if you think the Broncos are going to be very live in this football game, does that lean you towards saying, well, then this game goes under? Or does that lean you to saying that the Chiefs defense is not very good? Because that's facts. The Chiefs defense is not very good. The 16.5 team total right now, if you wanted that, it's heavily juiced to the under. So you get it with almost no vig. Yeah, look, I want the Broncos. I want the Broncos here, and I like Jeudy being back. And I'd like to know, I'm expecting Cortland Sutton not to be in the lineup, so I'm going to double check on that. But why don't you take it away? I'd like to hear. I mean, look, they had 12 first downs and didn't get into the red zone. But now they're at home against a weak defense. I'd like to hear what you have to say here. Take it away, Jose.
Cortland Sutton, I assume, also not going to play.
That's what I assume too. Yeah.
Hamstring injury. We never see them really come back that same week. And even if they do, it's always shitty. So I'm assuming he's out. I like the Broncos here too, just because I think this could be like another like close Chiefs victory where they don't try to pull out much in the playbook. They try to just get out of there healthy. We can use this for our favor this time when we were talking about it on the opposite side earlier. Home division dog, a lot of points. Then this is going to make me sick to say this, but Russell Wilson and the Broncos have been close to winning their last like 2 games now, it seems. They've both come down the wire. It's been, Broncos bullshit to kind of just get them in the way of themselves. So I like the Broncos here too. I think I'll end up putting them on my card as well. But it's just that thing when you wake up and you're like, man, I bet against Patrick Mahomes and I put my money on Russell fucking Wilson this year. So I'm going to be on it, but it's going to be one of those spots where you don't want to watch this game. You just want to put your money on it and check back later and hopefully it wins. And by the way, shout out to Sky Dargan. he thinks Denver wins outright. So shout out to him.
I love seeing that he thinks that. Birdie says this game can only be bet on Sunday, in my opinion. I'm nervous about that. There's just too much. Like, we don't have one person in our whole chat saying the Chiefs here. I think I'm going to get in after the show. I would not be surprised to see 9-8. And I know there's not a big difference there. Now, there are people voting the Chiefs. They're just not making. Oh, here, Billy Friedrich says he likes the Chiefs. I think this is a good spot. This is a good spot to bet.
4 minutes are up, and we have a new addition to our card, 46%, the Denver Broncos. So, a little intrigue there for the boys.
There were late votes on Denver, too, because I'd voted and KC was ahead.
Love that. So 46% going to make our card seemingly as of now.
Look, Billy, I have those stats in front of me too. I have Kansas City 29.2 points a game, Denver 13.8. There's our guy Guillermo Zertucci. Oh, nice! He's coming to us live from SoFi. G's already there at noon. I like it.
He's got a tailgate. Come on. Shout out to Guillermo.
Judy's not on the injury report, is he right now? I mean, he came back from the ankle injury. Let me just do this. I don't see him on any injury report. Let me just do this quickly because after this show, I think I'm adding the Ravens, and he was on the pitch count. It's safe to say he'll be limited again. Judy.
While you look for this, Jimmy, I'll give this quick moment to shout out our lovely Pub Sports shop, and I'll do this right before. But shout out to Jeff Slaughter. He a little Christmas Day sale right now for the pub rub we've got going on. Very delectable, very good. Make your briskets, make all your meats with it. 20% off right now on the store. So good. So go get yourself some pub rub today.
Yes, pub rub, and don't forget my bookie as well as Bet Online. Our promo code Pub Sports. They will match up to a K. All right. Okay. I feel good about adding these two spots, and I'm going to. Let's move on to the next spot on the board, and I must start this one. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at San Francisco 49ers. Ever since Tuesday, sharp money has been coming in on the Buccaneers. But all that's done is it's evened it out. Before Tuesday, all the sharp early money was on the 49ers. So now it's even. There's no sharp money. There's no nothing. It's just even. 53% of the tickets, 53% of the cash on the 49ers. That's it. No help there. But you could say that the Bucs at 3.5 have been getting more and more juiced. That's fair. We still don't see a 3 on the board anywhere. So, I mean, the 3 at Bet365 is minus 138. So, nobody's willing. None of these books are willing to give you the Niners at minus 3. But the Buccaneers, the move towards the Buccaneers is becoming bigger and bigger. And the plus 3.5 right now is minus 121. So, yes, it's Tom Brady going up against Brock Purdy. And now Bowles, who's a defensive-minded coach, will have a week to study Purdy and how to slow down Purdy. But I think it comes down to how much of a drop do you think there is between Jimmy G and Brock Purdy? Because if we weren't talking about the quarterbacks, if we took the quarterbacks out of the picture, and sure, one's 7-time Super Bowl champion, Tom Brady, but the 49ers are so much better of a football team than the Buccaneers, and the 49ers are at home. So what does Brock Purdy really matter when it comes down to it? When you have all these playmakers and all these weapons and you can run the ball down their throat and you don't need to use McCaffrey over and over again. Jordan Mason is a reliable replacement for Elijah Mitchell. And this defense are a bunch of junkyard dogs. And, Hassan Ridgeway gone, Tarvarius Moore gone. It's fine. They're going to be all over the Buccaneers. And in saying that, it's probably an under game, but the total's at 37, and I don't want to mess with the 37. Birdie says, we know Bucks money will come in on Sunday. It's just been Bucks money of late. I've went a unit and a half on the first half and full game on the 49ers, and maybe it comes back to haunt me. One thing I have thought was interesting was that I got the Niners -2.5 first half at -110. Since then, the market's been moving towards the Bucks, but the first half's moved to -215, which is a little interesting. Look, this game is going to be very stressful for me. I really want the Niners to take care of business here. I need the division to stay live. And I want to make this fucking money. What do you think here, Jose?
Bang, bang, Niner gang. I think Tom Brady obviously a little bit lucky to win his last game. And I don't know about you, Jimmy, but I saw the little look-ahead line. 6.5 with Jimmy G in the lineup, down to a 3.5 without him, obviously, and the Bucks win helped with that too. I can't get behind the Bucks here. And I know Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. I watched him at Iowa State. He was always a capable quarterback. And Matt Campbell, a good coach at Iowa State. Sometimes, or a lot of people said, oh, he's a great coach. Blah, blah, blah. Coach up. Iowa State sucked ass this year. He was a good quarterback, Purdy. So I'm Purdy dude right now. I'm partying like a Brock star. I might move on the 49ers here. It's very funny when Sky Dargan says laying 3.5 with Purdy over the GOAT. Yes, please. It's funny when you put it like that, but yeah, better team, much better coach. I like Todd Bowles, but people are starting to figure out that he's kind of fraudulent. He's not a good coach. Coached a hell of a defense, but everything else he's just not very good at. And who the hell is their offensive coordinator? The former quarterback for the Bucks. Now I can't remember. Josh Johnson, whatever his name is. He's just not good either. I don't think it's obviously Tom Brady running the offense. That guy's just giving his creative criticism. Brady just runs the show. And Brady's not been good this year. And Nick Bosa is going to have a field day. So, and, obviously Brady going back to San Francisco is a factor, but I don't make too much of it. So give me the 49ers here full game. I like it.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Very, very, very nervous about this game. And
well, I can tell you that I think Brock Purdy and Tom Brady are playing about the equal level of quarterback right now.
Yeah, one of the concerns is when you have a player come in and he looks good enough when he just comes in out of nowhere. And now he's going to have a week to think about it. The thing is he looked really confident.
Yeah.
He was pumping his fist. He was leading the huddle. He was doing all the things that you need from a kid to step up. So this game means a ton to me.
It's going to mean even more, Jimmy, because after 5 minutes, our new leader, the San Francisco San Francisco 49ers. I just saw a report that they're on Carlos Correa, so I'm a little rattled now. 67% for the 49ers. So that will make our card.
This Sunday's going to be fucked, man. Because we're going out west for Christmas, so we're doing our fucking Christmas now on fucking Sunday. We have 4 o'clock at turkey dinner, and the Niners game starts, and they expect me to be a part of the family here.
Yeah, this is the unrelatable parts. My family's leaving me on Christmas, so I'm going to Vegas on Christmas, actually. So,
oh, that sounds real nice. All right, I want you to lead this one, Jose. Sorry, I led back-to-back. Those 2 games are vital to my success as a person.
No, it's all right.
Carolina Panthers 4-8, 0-5 on the road. The question is, can you trust these Panthers on the road? At the Seattle Seahawks, 7-5, 3-2 at home. We have Carolina opening up at +6. And they got down to 3.5. 3.5. Now they have moved back to 4.5. But that was a pretty big move from 3.5 to 4.5. And it's 3.5 here, is it? Wow. I did not expect that. It moved to 4.5 at Pinnacle last night. So I thought this would be a 4.5. Carolina coming in off their bye week, and cash-wise here, we have implied line value. By the way, there's some implied line value on the Buccaneers, like 20%. There's about 17% on the Panthers. But the Panthers have 48% of the tickets and 91% of the cash. You can imagine most of them came in at 6. Take it away, Jose.
They've got the best quarterback they've had all year now. The Carolina Panthers do. Sam Darnold is in at quarterback and led them to a nice casual victory. Rolled right into the end zone, did his thing, bye week. Now he's coming back. Now, I think one of the factors that we need to keep an eye out, I think Deontay Foreman, all my names are fucked up. Thank you. Texas guy, gigantic. He was supposed to be Derrick Henry 2.0. I remember when the Titans picked him up, and he was just a gigantic human. He's good, a good running back, and he's got a foot injury. So we'll see how that, I don't know, goes and progresses throughout the week. But you need him. You need him in the lineup if I'm going to bet the Panthers here. I like him, and if he's in, I'm going to take him. And I trust my guy Sam Darnold. Steve Wilkes, I guess he's going to be a good coach, but ultimately, I just don't think that the Seahawks and the Giants have this steam to make it through the season.
That's fair. The problem is the road. This team already can't deliver on third down, 27% on the year.
Yep.
That didn't change with Darnold.
No.
They went 2 of 12 on third down.
It probably will not either.
I guess I'm going to have to stay off of this game because I can't back Carolina on the road. And after sitting with it for a long time, I started leaning towards the Seahawks, but I don't want to go up against all these huge bets on Carolina. Granted, they were probably made at 6. Coming back, though, there's a big chance that the Panthers are healthier. There really is.
Yeah, they need Kenneth Walker.
No, but I mean Carolina healthier.
Yeah. The Seahawks need Kenneth Walker to. I'd feel more comfortable, obviously, with him in the lineup. Is kind of saying. If I'm going to bet them, I need Kenneth Walker running the ball. If he's not in, I'm not in for the Seahawks. So if he's not in, I'm feeling even better about the Panthers. It's just they're just dropping like flies. They're going to throw the ball a shitload. They got DJ Dallas back there. Okay, we'll see. He's been a fine running back, but we'll see how Geno Smith does throwing the ball 40 times.
But Panthers are going to get Matt Ioannidis back, a defensive tackle. They're going to get Miles Hartfield back, their safety. They're going to get Corey Littleton back, a linebacker with an ankle injury. This team should be stronger, but they've looked so bad on the road. I don't know how anybody can trust them on the road. I simply don't know how anyone can trust them on the road. And, I can't do it here. So Birdie saying best bet of the weekend is these Panthers. Wow. He says this game comes down to who has a better defense. Seahawks barely beat the Rams with no Darnold, and they still struggle to score. Or no, Aaron Darnold. Aaron Donald is what he means. With no Donald. This Panthers D is no joke, he says.
Yeah, I like Brian Burns. I'll probably be on the Panthers this week. It's going to be a fun test to see if these teams that were hot in the beginning of the year, the Giants and the Seahawks, still have that juice. By the way, there's a little bit of feedback echo coming back from your side, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Still?
Just a heads up.
Does everybody hear feedback echo?
Let us know. I'm hearing it slightly, but
okay.
I was trying to keep moving on with my day because we have work to do. 4 minutes are up. Thank you to those who voted. 57% on Seattle -3.5 there. So another addition there, and it'll be very interesting to see how these Seahawks do.
All right. That game I find extremely difficult. I love that Birdie's so confident. I find it very, very difficult. And I guess I haven't had a very good read on the Seahawks this year. So I'm going to have to stop here. Brooklyn would have been on Seattle too. Great to have you, Brooklyn Funk Project. My guy Pete in the house. All right, let's go to work. Dolphins, Chargers. This is our Sunday night live bet stream that I'm very excited about. I love these Sunday night bet streams with the crew. Dolphins, Chargers. Here in this one, I have a ton of notes for the game, but like bet wise, I was quite interested in the under. I thought that it might keep going up, and I know this is not important, but it's dropped. It is dropped. Damn. I thought that I might be able to get a 52.5 because my book was only offering a 52. Sorry about this. I know we got the talk side here, but damn it. It's a 51.5. All right. Let's talk about this spot. Spread wise, this opened up Chargers plus 2.5. Chargers are now still plus 2.5, but they were a 3 yesterday morning and a legit 3 with no VIG or with, not plus money because right now they're 3 at plus 109. Cash wise here for this one, we have a huge amount of perceived live line value on the Dolphins. But the sharps are on the Chargers. 39% of the tickets, 59% of the cash. Big bets have come in on the Chargers here. Dolphins coming off that ugly 33-17 loss to San Francisco. They stayed on the road. And the question comes down to Teron Armstead. He tried to play. I know they've signed Eric Fisher, who hasn't played, in a long time.
Yeah, bad.
So, and remember, Eric Fisher was a Pro Bowler in 2020.
Yeah, first round overall pick. It's amazing what you can be. If you were once a first overall pick, you'll get all the chances in the world.
So, the Teron Armstead news is this: he's not being ruled out, and next week they play the Bills. Why would you put Teron Armstead in the lineup here if you got the Bills on deck? But we saw what happened when Tua doesn't have him. He's rushing his passes. This guy grades out spectacularly well. But it's very hard to back the Chargers here. Very, very hard to trust them. Sebastian Joseph Day is added to the list. He injured his right knee. It looks like he avoided a major injury, but I don't expect him in the lineup. Bosa is still going to be out. I don't know how you can trust the Chargers, but they're a 3.5-point dog. And you know that Herbert's capable of keeping it close.
Yeah, I obviously think this game has a lot of narratives going into it, Tua Herbert, that whole deal. But this is an easy pass game for me. This is like the most nonchalant game. It's a great game on paper, but I just want nothing to do with it. The Chargers, you're going to get your wish. I think Staley's a dead man walking. He's going to be fired after this year, most likely. Just too aggressive. I don't just a little bit too much, Staley, a little bit too much. So I think we'll get a new direction from the Chargers. And I like Mike Daniels a lot, but you're right about the Bills spot next week. This is a clear look ahead spot. Huge game in the division for them next week. And ultimately, this is a pass game to me. If I had to pick a side, I'm not going to go against the Sharps, as we've seen illustrated the last couple of weeks. I'm picking Chargers here, but it's just a pass.
God, I wonder, how beat up are these Dolphins? Brady says Tua is not practicing, Waddle not practicing.
They'll play, though. I assume they'll all play. Still early.
I wonder if the Chargers is the spot here. I wonder if this is the spot. If I added the Ravens plus 2.5, Broncos plus 9.5, Chargers plus 3.5, I probably put myself in good shape. I'd also wanted to add this under. I thought that it could keep going up, but that's not the case here. Look, do we trust the Chargers defense at all or enough? That's the question. I don't know if we do. I don't know if we can. I don't know if it's possible. Kyle Van Noy, Drew Tranquil, Kenneth Murray, Chris Rump, they're just not getting the job done. But
out of the two teams, like Troy Torrance is saying here, who would you rather ride with, the Panthers or the Chargers?
I would rather ride with the Chargers at home at plus 3.5 than the Panthers on the road at plus 3.5. Yeah,
that would be mine as well. Yeah, the home factor of it as well would be the defining factor there.
And even if we say the Chargers don't have much of a home field, and that's valid.
The Dolphins don't have many football fans, so.
And Troy saying Finns on the road are not trustworthy.
I agree with that as well. It's a tough game. That's why I passed. It's a complete pass game. I could see a lot of different things going on in this game. 4 minutes are up in our poll. And right now, the Los Angeles Chargers, 50%. 50%.
So does that knock out knocks one of the plays out that I wanted, I think. I just want to just quickly see before we go into the very last game. I'd like to see where exactly this is for Pinnacle. So Pinnacle has the Chargers +3 at +109, +3.5 at -114. Yeah. I think I got to move on both those spots here. Ugh. Wow. Lieutenant Dan's legs. The record is not good. We've gone 1-9 over the last 2 weeks, but this is the new quarter. So we could get hot or we could be awful. That'd be great. We weren't awful enough because we had a good first week and then everything fell apart for us in that last quarter. Okay, I think I'm making these moves. I'm getting nervous as we speak, but this is helpful for me. This Thursday show is always helpful. All right, let's move on to the Monday Nighter. Another live bet stream for us here. And this game is wildly interesting. So many different parts, but I found it hard to have a firm look on either side here.
I fucking can't stand this game. This is easily my least favorite game of the month or the week.
I think it's going to be so much fun to live bet with everybody on Monday night. Patriots 6-6, 3-3 on the road. Cardinals 4-8, 1-6 at home at State Farm. Patriots coming off extra rest and prep after losing 24-10 last Thursday home to Buffalo. Cardinals coming fresh off their bye week. I saw them in 25-24 last second loss to the Chargers. First, we'll go to the line history here in this one. This one opened up with the Patriots as 1-point road favorites. They still are, but they became 1.5 and even 2 at some books. They're still 1.5 at some. Here they're listed -1, -116. Let's go over to the cash flow. We have 4,968 tickets in. 32% of the tickets are on the Cardinals, but 57% of the cash. It's hard to figure out exactly what we're going to get from the Patriots offense unless you expect just nothing. And I don't. I think they're better than what we've seen. I don't think the 26 points they put up against the Vikings is probably the best explanation, but the squad-ass zilch we're getting in these other games recently is probably not right either. David Andrews came back, which helped, but they were still, what they need is they need Isaiah Wynn and Yodny Kajust. They need them both in the lineup with David Andrews to give Mac as much time as possible. And the Cardinals, we finally saw them on the field with Marquise Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, and Kyler Murray, and they still lose. So do you have a lean here? I know you despise this football game, but do you have a lean here at all?
Cardinals, as Billy Friedrich saying in the chat, Belichick versus mobile quarterbacks. They stink. Lost to Jackson, Fields, Josh Allen. Obviously, those are all better quarterbacks than Kyler Murray. But I think that it's a like a Nick Saban kind of deal with mobile quarterbacks, and it just kind of messes them up. So I lean Arizona here plus the points. Home dog. I just fucking think the Patriots are horrible, man. The offense is really, I think it is that bad. Like Ramondre Stevenson's the only offensive weapon that they can rely on. I think Mac Jones is horrible. They have a fat spaceman that looks like shit every day calling plays. And a senile old man that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing leading them. The only issue is that you've got a pretty boy on the other side that has been mediocre wherever he's gone. A shitty college quarterback that should have been playing baseball at this point. And just a disheartened team. So, no thanks. Pass.
This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. And Sky Dragon saying this is New England's season. That was my initial feel.
That was last week for me. That was last week. And by the way, shout out to Birdie. I can't wait to smell you.
I was listening. I was leaning towards back in the Patriots. This is a really difficult game. I'm very thankful that we get the opportunity to live bet it. I want to see if the Patriots can comfortably move the ball. And if they can, it'll be a no-brainer to back them. I expect them to be able to slow down Kyler Murray. And I know Belichick has trouble with mobile quarterbacks and all that stuff, but I just don't trust the Cardinals at all.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like we mentioned all three of those quarterbacks earlier. Guess what? Kyler's worse than all those guys. And the coaching for all those guys is a lot better than what Kyler has. So I can see it, but that's why I passed. I thought Arizona would be favored in this game too. So it's another one of those cases from earlier. I forgot what game it was exactly. We were talking. It was Detroit, where I was like, oh, Cardinals, they should be like a 2.5 point, 1.5 point favorite here at home. Underdogs. I'm like, okay, well, it might be the Patriots, but yeah, that's why I'm passing. I just can't. I can't with this game. I've lost on the Patriots 5 straight weeks. Honor against the Patriots for 5 straight weeks. I don't want to even watch this game. I'll find something to do with my Monday night, whether it's fucking go take a 45-minute drive around San Antonio, smoke some cowboy killers, whatever I have to do to not watch this game. I think I will manage to doing.
The Raiders are 6-3 against the spread over the last 9 games, and I'm 0-3 betting them. So we all have a team that just kind of messes with us. So Sky Dragon says when the Jets lose, New England will know they will have a playoff spot by beating Arizona.
It's a good angle. That's a good angle. And Jimmy, it's been documented how poorly these last couple of weeks have been for me. A couple weeks ago, I was on top of the Cappers contest, feeling great. Red Sox were not as of poverty as they are now. The Jets making the playoffs, etc. In 3 weeks, I've lost one of my favorite players that I've been watching since I've been growing up. The Jets fumbled away 3 victories, 2 against this shitty team. Thank you. No, I'm not crying. I am not crying. I've already cried too much last night. I'm already out of tears. But it's just shocking to me. It's just and Oklahoma State too was on pace to win the Big 12. And then we have some fucking slapdick quarterback who fucking sucks dick for money and he wants to go fucking transfer because you get fucking shut up, Spencer Sanders. You fucking suck, dude. He's the fucking leads Oklahoma State ever for interceptions. Dude sucks. And I need to figure out, I need a fucking some ritual to fucking make myself good at picking sports games again. And you know what I'm going to do tonight, Jimmy? I'm going to get fucking hammered. I'm going to shotgun a beer. I'm going to have a shot. I'm going to send it to Snizzle. And I'm going to have some darts. And I'm going to think of Gokster while I do it, that fucking asshole.
I really wanted you to cry there. I think that was a big mistake.
I'm out. I've given all I got. I don't have any tears. The poll's over, by the way, 41% on New England. But it might come tomorrow because I'm not talking about baseball on this program because this is a football show. But
we have to close the week with you letting us know here.
I'm giving the Red Sox 24 hours. If they haven't done anything in the next 24 hours, betting with the bag. And my State of the Union address will be must-see television because things will get emotional.
I think you being a lifelong cigarette smoker is a perfect way to handle all this.
And I think we should mark down this date. What's the date? December 7th.
It's the 8th.
Well, it's technically.
You started smoking on the 7th, yeah.
So
this
7th,
is going to be good.
December 7th.
There's no, like it's all positive. Now becoming a lifelong cigarette smoker. I mean, there's just no negatives. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah. It makes me look cooler.
Yeah.
It takes the edge off of Xander Bogaerts leaving.
You don't need to worry about the lack of retirement funds you're going to have, right?
Yeah. I have said 11 years, $280 million just casually and just to strangers. I'll walk by some homeless person. I'll just say 11 years, $280 million. They'll look at me. They'll ask for money. And I'll just keep on walking away, just fucking muttering under my breath. how much I hate myself and how much I hate sports. But guess what, guys? We're here to talk football. Football is what we're here for. And guess what, Jimmy? I've got a top 5 or 6 for you. And it is a great time to be here. I'm happy. I'm just enthused to talk football with all my friends. Before we talk about all these percentages, again, shout out to our lovely Pub Sports Radio shop. 20% off right now for any kind of pub rub you want. Go get it right now. 20% off, a lovely Christmas gift for your father that gambles a lot. Go get him this pub rub.
You know,
now,
we need pub lube. I gotta talk to Jeff.
That's what would happen to me if we get pub lube, just right in the rear. It'd be at least more pleasant because that's what the fucking Red Sox do. No spit, just a fucking finish right in there. But all right, now let's talk about these percentages.
Let's talk about it.
Because I am getting a little emotional. I'm sweating and I'm angry.
Wait, are you getting emotional?
Oh, no. So let's start off. Denver plus 9.5 at 46%.
What number is it? 7th or 6th?
That is our 5th place squad. Yes.
Can we go back to 7th? I like knowing that.
You want to do the whole list of losers?
If it's easy, if you can do it.
No, I can do the mental gymnastics here at 40% boys and New England. Let's start those 3. We'll pull them all together. 41% New England, and then we had our 2 40%ers from earlier, Dallas and Buffalo. So
that's 6 and 7, 8 kind of thing.
Yes, those are all right there. Those are all the 40% boys.
Okay, wait just a sec. So
New England minus 1.5, 41, and then the other 2 were both 40.
And they were who? Cowboys?
Minus 17, and Buffalo minus 9.5, excuse me. There. Shout out to Pinnacle as well for the 8.5.
Okay.
All right. So Denver, the one that I think you wanted and it was bumped out, is our 5th spot at 46% plus 9.5. Which means these are all of our picks going forward, and the threshold was indeed 50%. You get over 50%, you make our list.
Oh, so Broncos didn't make it in either.
No, the Broncos did not make it.
Oh shit! Damn it. Okay, so the Patriots was 7th, and the Bills were 8th and 9th.
Yes. And then
damn it.
Yeah. Okay. So everything now is on our card at 50%. The Chargers at plus 3.5. Seattle is in 4th, minus 3.5 at 57%. So you can obviously see the little gap there. Philadelphia minus 6.5 at 58%. We also have the Cincinnati Bengals, the controversial choice of the week, going up against the Sharps at 60%, minus 5.5. And our top vote getter, we're Purdy, dude. Party like a Brock star. The San Francisco 49ers, I keep saying Giants, minus 3.5, 67%, rounds out our top 5. So San Fran, Cincinnati, the Eagles, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Los Angeles Chargers.
So quickly against the Sharps is just so Sharps are on the Chargers. We're going up against them. You know what? It's a little different at 3.5. I don't think we can get a fair estimation of where the Sharps are at 3.5. We know at 6, the Sharps were all over the Panthers, but that could change at 3.5. Could change. So I don't know. We don't get a real idea there. Eagles. Look, all of the big bets are on the Giants, but the Giants could end up a very public dog. Bengals were up against the Sharps, and Niners, it's even. So it's just one of these weeks I want to say, oh, we're on the Sharp, we're with the Sharps, we're with the Sharps, we're with the Sharps. That just never seems to happen here. But
well, I'll tell you, I think for those keeping track at home, Drug Monkey. I'd appreciate, and Peter too. I know you're watching silently in the background, Peter. But Drug Monkey, if you could just close your computer right now. Thanks for coming out. Specifically, Drug Monkey, nobody else. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Drug Monkey, for leaving now. My official picks, I believe. So we'll see. Obviously, these can change, but Cleveland, Houston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Denver will be, as of right now, my picks. Cleveland plus 5.5, Houston plus the 17.5, the minus 6.5 for the Eagles, 2.5, I believe, right? Plus 2.5 for the Ravens, and Denver plus 9.5. And Sundays, like I've mentioned, Sundays have been torture chambers for me. I get a lot of bad news on Sundays. A lot of bad things happen to me on Sundays, especially with the Jets. I haven't had a football team to care about recently, so Sundays officially suck. But it could not, Jimmy, I can say this. Sunday will not be as worse as yesterday was. So I'm going to keep telling myself that. And maybe I can find some solace, or maybe I could just throw my body in traffic. Maybe that'll make me feel better.
Brooklyn Funk Project wants the Cry Me a River bouquet hoodies. That'd be nice, eh?
Yeah, I've got the perfect face. I'll add a teardrop to it, and I'll just put Cry Me a River and bouquet. Danny Lopez, I did get my car, thankfully. I got about 2 months ago, I got my car. Thank you for asking.
Pete wants to know what the numbers are for tonight's game. Brooklyn Funk Project.
What do you mean? What are the numbers for tonight's game? The spread and cash numbers?
No, where the percentages are.
Oh, tonight's game for the votes. It was 37% on the Raiders, 37%. So it was a big split there in the beginning.
Can you give us all of them? Like 37%. Like what was on the
draw and stuff, or the pass and stuff. So let me see if I can scroll all the way back, because I did not write all the pass votes and stuff. So if someone wants to scroll all the way back and do that,
we can't get them. They shut it down.
Yeah, so
okay.
No, I do not have them all. But yeah, they was all close. So 37% there, and I believe the other closest choice was the other side, obviously, in the past.
But, I think it's great that you're choosing to get a new addiction in your life in nicotine. I think this is shrewd, because if you don't, you're bored. You're bored. Get addicted.
I've been home alone. I've been home alone for a week now. My mom's living it up in Paris. My dad's living up in Miami. And I've been close to just, again, jumping in traffic these last 3 weeks.
This is great. This makes sense. You could.
I'm so close. I'm just one more breaking news tweet. Correa going to the Giants away from just really taking that shop and charge stick and just take it out on my.
You could try heroin. You could smoke a little rock. I could. Just for starters, just get addicted to nicotine, and we'll talk about
and let's be honest,
meth and rock later.
Let's be honest. You sound like my mother right now when we were talking about weed, but let's just be honest. I ain't no bitch either. I'm not gonna fucking vape. Vaping's for pussies. We smoke the cancer sticks here. I'm not no bitch. We're gonna take some fucking cigs to the face. Obviously, some Marlboro Reds, like I've been mentioning, sponsor the show, Marlboro. I could be the next Marlboro man. I'll fucking do it. If that's what it takes, I'll do it. And you know what? I'm a nice fucking guy. Maybe I'll throw some fucking bones to the fucking Red Sox so they can't be so fucking poor. Damn it.
Oh, that's just me now. Oh, he's back. Okay. I thought
I was about to leave. I was just close my laptop and leave. Unbelievable. Fucking
Bo Jackson used to smoke Belmonts back in the day. I was Export A Gold regular sized. And but you know what you need is a fucking addiction, buddy. Go smoke cigarette right now. Smoke cigarette now.
I will. You know what pisses me off too? I gave Ick my fucking pack of cigarettes I had from the other week. I had one cigarette that I used. I had to go buy another pack.
Good. Yeah, rack them up. Buy a few. Pick up a carton just to make sure you're always good to go.
I might. Maybe I'll fucking start throwing in some chaws too. Maybe I'll get in some.
That's
dip.
A good idea. Yeah, it worked for Tony Gwynn, right? Tony Gwynn, first ballot Hall of Fame.
Dabby Cab. Look at Dabby Cab. I know Dabby Cab dipped in his life. I know it. I know it. If he can throw 95 with the dip, why can't I? Why can't I make the Red Sox?
If it works for Tony Gwynn, it works for Jose Bouquet.
Exactly. He hit 400. Why can't I? It was all the chew.
Exactly.
I hate myself.
Thank you guys for joining us here on the Cappers Contest and Jose's life getting better day by day. We've hit rock bottom and we're climbing out of it with a new addiction. Now it's the final quarter of the Circa Millions contest. We either got to be spectacular or terrible. I'd like 5-0. I'd like 5-0. That's what I'd like. 5-0. I think we can do it.
Whoa. 5-0.
Oh, look at this guy. Poor guy.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Let's go have a giant week right now. Let's go get the fucking money.